Y'all, come on in. Come on in. Okay, as we know, an arrest has happened. Okay. Are we shocked? Are we surprised? A sad outcome to a story that really didn't have to happen. And as a therapist, I'm wondering, and I want you guys to think about this. How come we're seeing more and more of these stories? What's happening? That we're seeing more and more parents get arrested for situations like this. It's happening all the time. I feel like at least once a month, we're seeing, hearing stories like this. And so we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive and talk about what's going on in society. This isn't the first, it won't be the last. And why are more cases of parents doing the worst thing they can to their own children happening? Why is that happening? Is it mental health? Is it the economy? Is it not enough support? Why does this become the answer for some parents? But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like, you subscribe. You never want to miss a thing, right? Turn on notification bell. I am Denise Brady, and let's get into it now. Why? Just why? Last week they got arrested. SWAT team. Look at the signs. Why? Why does it have to come to this, y'all? Why not take the baby to the police station, DCFS? Why this? Why do you think it comes down to them, this being the answer? Okay. As we're watching them get arrested, they don't look shocked and surprised. They're not distraught. Notice that. No crying. Not even really, in some ways putting up a fight because they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. Okay. They brought out the whole SWAT team. The whole SWAT team. They wasn't playing, y'all. They wasn't playing. Now let's also get into the news brief. Okay.
Where early this morning, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department announced the arrest of Rebecca and Jake Haro, arrested on suspicion of murder. They're out here at the scene right now. They, of course, are the parents of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, who was reported missing, allegedly kidnapped last Thursday. That's over a week ago in Yucaipa at a Big Five parking lot. According to the Sheriff's Department, the parents gave inconsistent statements and then stopped cooperating
And by her man.
over the weekend. The father has hired an attorney who has not made a statement to Eyewitness News at this point. Again, the parents of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro have.
Why does it come down to parents doing this? Do you guys think that it's mental health? What is really going on in the world that we live in now? It happened in the 90s. It was happening in 2000s, and here we are. What are some of the psychological factors that play into mental health, depression, anxiety? But to be a mother, you chose to bring this child into the world, and maybe not in this case, but then to choose to take the child out the world. And I could tell looking at Rebecca, she does have some mental health issues, but choices and decisions were made. And I wonder for her, being in front of the media and all the attention, the validation, in some of these cases, not just this one, but we're seeing more. And I wonder if some of it is this cruel need for attention at the cost of your children. We saw her crying. But when it came to the arrest, no tears. No tears. And will we ever see or hear what really happened? And I know since they're arrested, there's been reports of now seeing the father helping the authorities in like a field area. The case just continues to get sadder and sadder. I also read that his brother, I think the boyfriend husband, his name is Jake, that his brother actually died in that same home. Did y'all know that? I believe it was it 2021 he died in the home? Like, what is going on here? You know, and then we have the situations of, how do I say this on YouTube? I'm going to take my life and I'm going to take the life of my kids and I'm going to have them come with me to the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing more cases of that too. There was a case, I believe, over the weekend that I saw of, I think it was in New Hampshire. It was a New Hampshire case. And I don't understand why. I want to know, you guys, do you feel like you're noticing more and more of these cases? Is it just me? But it feels like for some reason, some people feel like this is their only choice option. And then there are other cases, you know, where I'm going to take my life, my kid's life, and the life of my family. Let me see.
Our Mary Marcos joins us live in Madbury, where understandably, Mary, the community is shaken.
Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
This is a sobering reminder of the importance of mental health and just how quickly things can change behind closed doors.
You can't make sense of it. This could be any family in any neighborhood.
It's one of those things. Well, it never happens in my neighborhood. Look at it. It's 2 houses away.
A 911 call brought police to this Madbury home around 8:20 Monday night, where a family was found dead.
At this time, we are looking at this as a potential murder-suicide.
The victims have been identified as 34-year-old Emily Long, 48-year-old Ryan Long, and two of their children, 8-year-old Parker and 6-year-old Ryan.
There, they discovered that 4 of the 5 residents had all passed away, all from having suffered what were apparent gunshot wounds.
A third child, a toddler, was found alive.
With GCYF consultation, I believe that the toddler is with other family members.
The New Hampshire Department of Justice confirmed that the father was a school psychologist at Oyster River Middle School.
And he was a great support for the kids. Yeah, and
he was in the mental health field.
Several kids in the district.
A neighbor is now taking care of the family dogs, Cooper and Pasta.
Oh, I think it's terrible. I bought lemonade from both of the kids last week and talked to the mother, and people in the whole neighborhood are just can't believe it.
Investigators worked at the home in Madbury from Monday night through Tuesday to piece together what happened and why.
Motive is never an element of a crime that has to be proven, but it is certainly something that we want to know. I think everybody wants to know.
Another sad case, y'all. Is it the world that we're living in that I just don't know. I don't have words.
The chief medical examiner's office is scheduled to conduct autopsies tomorrow. Authorities are hoping to learn more from those findings. Live in Madbury, New Hampshire, Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, Mary, thank you. Remember, if you or someone you know is
Yes, let's put that phone number up there. Okay.
struggling, there is help. Call or text 988.
I'm gonna leave this up here because somebody watching this video might need it. Okay. But I'm wondering, and I want to hear from you guys. Is it unresolved trauma, family dynamics that sometimes parents externalize their own struggles instead of confronting them. I wonder about the mental health issues of that mother who I read the details of the case, and it was the mother who possibly started this and then proceeded to move throughout the household. And I wonder, now knowing that the father was a psychologist at a school, and then that one child, along with the Rebecca case, those children who are left behind, that one child in this New Hampshire case, and the children of, these parents, Rebecca and Jake, who have to live with what their parents did, the trauma of it. Not only living with that, but just the thing that they saw before this situation with their brother, being displaced now and having to live with family. Are those other family members healthy? Are they going to be placed in the system? Because at least with the Rebecca case, it looks like there's a case of just a repeated dysfunctionality in the family, unhealthy coping, stress. And we often talk about having a village. What does your village look like? Is your village positive? Are they supportive? Can you count on them, or do you feel alone? A lot of these parents nowadays, I think, don't have the same community and village that they had when I was growing up. I come from a dysfunctional family, but I feel like watching other families around me and looking at the villages that people grew up with, those things existed for some people. But I don't see the same community and villages nowadays. And I think a lot more people are siloed, isolated. And I think there's still a huge stigma around mental health and getting help. Knowing that her husband was a psychologist, that don't mean that he was the best man either. I don't know. They could have been going through family issues, relationship issues, but the answer was not to do what she did, allegedly. Okay. And now the one child who survived, I wonder as a therapist, like how he was able to survive, what he saw, how long was he there by himself until like someone came along. Those kids also to just be minding their own business and enjoying a weekend at home. And then, the sudden things of what happened. The sudden things. And, another part of the pieces of this is, does the media hyperfixate on fake kidnappings to grab headlines, stir up fear, maybe empathy, and outrage all at once? I noticed that the news, when certain things or stories happen, we see more and more of those stories. Like when things are happening at the airport and we're seeing plane crashes, delayed flights, or we're seeing things happening, turbulence on flights, we start seeing more and more of those stories. And I'm wondering with the Rebecca case, are we going to see more and more stories? Because this is the second fake kidnapping that I've seen in the last 2 months. There was another one, I think, like in the Midwest, where a little boy was outside riding his bike and he got kidnapped, only for it to be a hoax by the parents, I believe, for some for the money, a GoFundMe. Okay, doesn't media hyperfixate on things that stir up all these different emotions to capture an audience, while also, to me, re-traumatizing and bringing up trauma and feelings? It's kind of like this open can of worms. And so many of my clients are so glued to the news about ICE, kidnapping, all this stuff. And the news will have you believe that you have to live in fear, that you really have to live in fear. They erode these fake stories, fake trust, okay, which can hurt families truly in crisis. And another aspect, another layer of this also is the glorification of parenthood, perfect parenthood. We see that all the time. And these social media families on TV, that parenthood is perfect when there are real struggles that nobody talks about. And then people go into it being first-time parents thinking, oh, this is going to be, my kid's going to fit into my life. I'm a breastfeed. My kid's going to be having the perfect outfits. My child is going to fit into this box that I've created in my mind. Okay. And then what happens when your child does not fit into that box? What happens? Do you have support? Can you get out of the image that you had in your mind of this perfect child? What happens when you are raising a child, you thought they were going to be perfect in your mind, and they have special needs? How do you cope with that? Does that child now get less love? Is it more likely for a special needs child to end up in a situation like this? Okay. I think there are just so many layers to the Rebecca case, and it just brings up other cases too, that there's a bigger picture. I think there are systematic issues. There's stigma around mental health. There's lack of affordable therapy and support. I think people don't have the support systems in the communities that they did in the 90s, maybe in the early 2000s. And I think the cultural presence to maintain an image of control and stability. Perfect parenthood. Perfect parenthood. Now, with the Rebecca case, should they be given some compassion? Okay. Not really. Not really, no. They chose to make a decision. There were things that could have prevented this. But like I said, choices and decisions were made. I think we have to highlight the importance of holding people accountable. But it's unfortunate that there's going to be more and more cases like this. And I don't know what the answer is to stop it. I don't even know if there's anything that we really could do to stop it. I think we can provide support. I think we can. I think people have to recognize when they are at their wits' end, and maybe recognize when you get in there. What are the signs of, I need a break, I need help, this is too much, and being okay with asking for help. But I think there's just so much pressure of, come on, you're a mom, you can get through it. Okay? You're a mom. You got this. You got this. That people suffer in silence. Not to mention the other layer of this is that it seems like that relationship that Rebecca is in is not healthy. And there's some potential intimate partner violence happening, some control, emotional and physical. She just appears to be a woman who is not all together. No, not all together. All right. This child was dependent on them for life, for nurturance. And if you can't provide that, don't have children. Don't have kids. Okay. But now we're at the point in this case where now they're trying to find the baby. And it's only a matter of time now that Jake has been out there with police trying to lead them to where potentially the poor baby is. Okay. I think stories like this just remind us that we need to reduce the stigma, provide accessibility to mental health care, create safe spaces for parents to ask for help. But I think people have to get comfortable with asking for help also. You can have all the support in the world and still be suffering in silence. What do you guys think we can do as a society to prevent parents from feeling like a fake kidnapping is an option? To prevent these murder-suicides. Okay? I want to encourage us to have an insightful dialogue, conversation. This is not the end of this case. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the last case. But I want to know from you guys, are you taking a break from the news at times? Do you recognize when you're taking too much in and you're feeling it? It's affecting you in your day-to-day. Do you consume too much news? Are you a person who is afraid to ask for help? What does it look like when you are getting to a point where you need more help? Okay. I am Denise Brady, your favorite therapist. Okay, now if you got to the end of this video, let's just put some angel wings in the chat. I'm gonna put the hotline in the comments too for anyone who may need help. Okay. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Show us some love, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.